of 4840 kHz, WWCR. Thank you all so much for tuning in tonight. In tonight's program, a roundup of select current events, following the news, listener-requested music. Please stay tuned. The news is this. Russia reserves the right to provide arms to allies, as the West claims that will arm Ukraine with impunity, and could send long-range weapons to the DPRK and other countries, Vladimir Putin has said. Russian President Putin was speaking with reporters in Hanoi, Vietnam, following meetings with the Vietnamese leadership on Thursday. One of the questions related to his previous suggestion that Moscow could send missiles to adversaries of the in response to the U.S. and its allies greenlighting Ukrainian strikes deep inside Russia. I do not rule out supplying weapons to other countries, including the Democratic People's Republic of Korea, Putin said. Let the West think where they might end up. Western countries have supplied long-range and other weapons to Ukraine, and have said they can't be held responsible for how Kiev uses them, and insist that it does not make them parties to the conflict. Putin stated, therefore, that Russia reserves the same right for itself. The Russian president also noted that Moscow is considering modifications to its doctrine on how to use atomic weapons. We don't need a first strike, he said in response to another question, because our return strike is guaranteed to destroy any attacker. The statements follow Putin's visit to the DPRK, which occurred early this week. That trip marks the first time the Russian president had traveled to North Korea since first taking office in 2000, when he visited Pyongyang to meet the then-leader, Kim Jong-il.
Oh yeah, this is the Mr. Reporter there. I got you loud and clear. You about 20 over S9. If you can see the needle there, 20 over S9. I don't know if you're live now or that's how loud you're coming in on your report. This is a reporter or something like that. I'm shouting out to you. One of these days, give me a shout out there at Adams Ham Radio, Mr. Reporter. That's this guy right here.
The Russian leader noted that relations between the two nations.
I usually like to listen to his music. The news is just the way it is. You know, it is what it is. But he usually has some good tunes on here sometimes. But I usually like listening to him on the weekends.
Strategic partnership dedicated to lay the groundwork.
Yeah, this is the gent that Onion VROW, I think VORW something radio, which he does. He's on YouTube. He does he's like the Rotter Ronkite, whatever they call him. What's his name there? The news reporter for fast food. He tests every fast food joint's what is it? Food, and I think it's pretty funny. If you guys watch, if you know what I'm talking about, you should know what I'm talking about. I don't know if I even posted anything like that, but it's pretty hilarious. But he's very, very, very professional at what he does, doing the tests on these fast food franchises. It's pretty comical. It is funny. If you have a bad day, just watch that, and it will actually make you laugh. It's funny. But the last I saw, he did a Chick-fil-A one. The Chick-fil-A, I had one of those before, and they tasted like rubber. And I don't usually eat out, but if you're out and about too long, you're in a pinch. That's one thing, but this was just awful, just horrible. But anyways, I thought I'd let you know about this guy. I found out, and I was actually a fan of this, actually. And I got mad at the news, not him, but how the news is set up. Because these poor guys look at a news screen, whatever it was set on the screen, they have to talk about it. So it's really not his fault. But Mr. Reporter, I'm glad that you watched my channel for a few years. I appreciate it. And keep on listening, my friend. Just feel free, throw me a question down in the comments below, and whatever. But like I said, I enjoy your show, and I know this is not your fault telling the bad news, but you got to read what you got to read, what the media wants you to tell. So, but anyways, you got good music on here, by the way. Some of it goes back in the '90s, and some people play oldies on here. Some songs that requested. You do a good job, my friend. Keep up the good work. Anyways, here you are, Mr. Reporter. Here you are. That's his page, Mr. Reporter, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong. He does all the taste tests on the fast food places. The Mr. Reporter. I think it's pretty good. Anyways, there's back to the program here on the Shortwave News by Adam Sand Radio. Here we go.
With Russia, especially if
bad news, of course, but that's just what it is.
Here, that's a big deal and a big win for them as well. And likewise, of course, there's a lot of harsh rhetoric that you've been seeing, especially in regards to various talk about retaliations and atomic weapons, etc. A lot of that, I would say, are empty threats, as opposed to guaranteed promises of anything. But still, I wish we didn't have to see that sort of rhetoric, if you ask me. But again, geopolitically, deepening of ties between the DPRK and Russia, and to me, based on everything I've researched, it does seem like a serious...
Yeah, see, that's the thing. I don't have a problem. I never had a problem with Russia. Like I said, I have a friend in Russia. I hope he's not mad at me or anything, because I'm not making fun of Russia. It's just how the world's going right now, you know what I mean? It's just a tight situation. It's just our president of our United States is not stable enough to even be a president anymore. He actually fell down this past week. Again. And so I'm just telling my news on the story with Mr. Reporter, what I heard too. But I'm just telling the funny side of the news that Mr. Biden there actually fell over. Fell and I think he fell on his feces while he was walking, and he fell down and bumped his head there on his noggin. And then he's going to start yelling at the poor Russian people. They don't want no part of this garbage. And I know we don't want a war. Because when you bomb us, you bomb them, or vice versa, no one's going to win this whole thing. No one's going to come out of it. So you all know dang well that's how it goes. But anyways, back to the news.
A senior field commander killed in an Israeli airstrike last week. His remarks on the conflict were the most hard-hitting since Iran-backed Hezbollah began attacking Israel last October across the border with Lebanon in support of Hamas in Gaza. On Tuesday, the Israeli military said it approved a plan of an offensive to push Hezbollah further back from the border, but was still hoping for a diplomatic solution. Nasrallah as well repeated that Hezbollah did not want war, but that the current fighting...
No, we don't want it. No wars, no.
Nasrallah said that in previous wars with Israel, Hezbollah had only hoped of being able to strike Israel's Meron air base.
What is going on with the other side of the world with these other people? These,
since the conflict began,
the Islams or whatever they call them, they're killing a lot of their own people. Why? Why?
After Israel's 1982,
it's very sad. Even children involved. I mean, why?
Previously fought a war with Israel in 2006. So again, this goes on, but it's something that I've already discussed in previous broadcasts, so I don't want to waste the time just elaborating and just parroting the same thing endlessly at this point.
That's all right, man. You tell it like it is, man. You're doing your job. You know, you got to do what you got to do.
Hezbollah, they aren't the government of Lebanon, but they are a very powerful military group in the country. They are Iran.
Should have brought my other light over here, my lantern, so you can see my dang radio instead of having lights glaring off of it.
The 100,000 mark. They have very heavy weapons.
Yeah, this is on WWCR on 4840 megahertz.
And obviously, it would be enough.
It's coming in pretty good tonight. Good 20 over S9. Band is up and down a little bit, as you can see the needle moving up and down.
Israel, like
QSB.
last week said, well, if we were to go to war with Hezbollah, then we would turn all of southern Lebanon into Gaza. And
shit.
I would say the same would also hold true for northern Israel as well, because Hezbollah does have significant offensive capabilities likewise. Essentially, southern Lebanon, northern Israel would be destroyed if a full-blown conflict were to occur between the IDF and Hezbollah. Now that would entail, of course, tens of thousands.
That'd be a nightmare if that ever happened. Holy Christ!
Where all of this sparked this concern about the increasing tensions between the two groups, though. The two groups obviously hate each other. They fought wars against one another. They started a low-level conflict ever since October 7th. They said, Hezbollah that is, that the point of this operation is to distract Israeli resources.
God, the lighting is horrible in here.
Gaza Strip to tie them up, essentially. But it's been a very low-level conflict. You know, there have just been skirmishes on a daily basis, but that's it. The tensions have rose, however, after Israeli forces conducted a strike fairly deep into Lebanon and killed a senior Hezbollah commander. So that obviously angered the group, and now a lot of the folks there are out for blood, both as far as a symbolic gesture, but in the literal sense.
This is terrible. This is the world we live in.
So,
I mean, we don't know it. We're in America, but on the other side of the globe, it's sad, man. It's really sad. And eventually, it's going to come over to us, and we're going to be in the middle of this. Guarantee you. You know.
Southern Lebanon.
We just got to get rid of that stupid, pokey old circus act idiot out of that office that falls down on everything like a clown act.
However,
And maybe this world will be in a better shape without that moron running.
it should be noted, there have been close calls like this many a time before, just in the last few months. Israel and Lebanon, they're on the brink every other week, pretty much, at this point.
Yeah, they do.
While tensions are high, more likely than not, this is just conjecture. This is just posturing, trying to maintain, a strongman appearance. And that's about it. We will see. But I just will say, if war were to technically break out between the two groups,
Oof.
you would know immediately.
Yes.
You wouldn't need to sit here and listen to this broadcast and hear a report about it to know that it would break out. You would know. That's without a doubt. And right now, nothing even close to that has happened. More than 300 people have died and thousands have been treated for heat stroke while performing the annual Muslim Hajj pilgrimage.
I put my work outside off, man, because it is too hot to be working out there. It has been like over 93 degrees, 95. It's too hot. But the humidity, oh boy.
At least 165 Indonesians, 68 Jordanians, 35 Pakistanis, 35 Tunisians, and 11 Iranians have died. A further 22 Jordanians are hospitalized, and 16 are still missing. Dozens of Iranians have also been hospitalized due to heat stroke.
Oh, it's horrible. I had it once or twice. Man, it's not fun. It's almost like you're having a heart attack. Not a good feeling. And then you got to pump sugar in you really quick, something to drink with sugar or water, and then it's supposed to revive you.
The government are only aware of pilgrims who have registered and traveled to Mecca as part of their country's quota. More deaths appeared among unregistered pilgrims. The Saudi government said on Monday more than 2,700 people have been treated for heat stroke. More than 1.8 million people are taking part in this year's Hajj, one of the world's largest religious gatherings. While deaths among the pilgrims are not uncommon, there were more than 200 last year, this year's gathering is being held amid particularly high temperatures.
Yeah, I'm going to have to make a shout out to Mr. Reporter. He has a webpage, and he has something on his radio cuts or something like that he does. I forget what he gives out the information. He gives the information out at the end of his broadcast here, then he plays his music. I can't play the music because I don't want to get a strike on my channel. But he does have a page. I forgot which one it is, but he'll... Oops. Did I knock out my camera? Nope. He will tell the email for reports and all that.
And financially able to make the journey to the holy city of Mecca at least once in his or her life. The pilgrimage includes numerous detailed rituals, including wearing a special garment that symbolizes human equality and unity before God, a circular, counterclockwise procession around the cube-shaped...
I'd like to know what kind of mic he's running. It sounds really clear, crystal clean, you know.
I was looking this up last
kind of curious. He's probably using one of them ribbon mics. I could have sworn that's what he was using.
And this was before the deaths were reported. I saw that it was going to be perhaps 120 to 130 degrees.
I don't know if he's running at a radio station or at his house, podcasting, then he's going to WWCR. I don't know how he's doing this.
With many deaths reported, and again, it was mentioned given the sheer number of people.
If he's doing this on his own in his own studio in his house, man, this is like broadcast quality.
Even under ideal conditions, when you have 1.8 million people, you would still have a few medical emergencies of accidents that would be bound to occur. But obviously, when you're talking 125-degree temperatures in the blistering sun,
no,
things could easily get out of control.
It does. I remember I had heat stroke. I looked at the grass. The grass looked like it was moving around, like I was tripping. And then I fell down and ran in the house, and I just flat out went on the floor, a nice cold floor. Grabbed one of them coconut drinks, and then it has electrolytes in it, and knocked me right, put me back to sane, you know.
Earlier this week,
gotta have your electrolytes when you're out in the heat, too.
In her death, police said, Johan Jose Martinez, age 21, and Franklin Jose Pena Ramos, age 26, both of whom illegally crossed into El Paso, Texas in May from Venezuela, each face a charge of capital murder in the killing of Jocelyn Nungare. The medical examiner has determined that her cause of death was strangulation.
Jesus.
It is unclear if the two suspects had attorneys yet to speak on their behalf. Jocelyn's body was found in the shallow water.
You know, that's the other thing that really kills me. Everybody's killing each other a lot these days. You know, you never hear that during the 80s or 70s, 80s. I was growing up. Even in the 90s, yeah, it was getting bad towards the end of the 90s in California and all that. Nowadays, it's everywhere. Everywhere you go, and there's always somebody killing something. Or someone, I mean.
It was not known yet if she knew the men, and results of the sexual assault exam on the victim are pending.
It's really sad. Wish we had peace in this world. You know, it's just... It'll never happen. Biden put a big damper on everything to make everybody hate each other. I just can't stand that. Everybody hating each other. I don't like that. Everybody should get along. You know, it ain't gonna happen. Never gonna happen now. Cause that Hitler, a demon president of ours, that stumbling fool, that slips on his own feces, the one that ruined our world. That's basically what he did. He got what he wanted, paying off people. Now look what we're in. A load of shit. Yes, I said shit, yes.
But I do see it more and more, and, you know, one can only hope that it's just because people are better at making noise, essentially. But my fear is that if it's a larger percentage of people that are this way, granted, this is my opinion, and I'm delving into it now. But with all these sorts of cases, you know, it always amazes me. What do I see constantly? People online in all various spheres doing. They sit there, and they make excuses for the perpetrators. They say, like in this case, for instance, they'll look at the two monsters that were responsible for this, and they'll say, well, there had to have been a reason, right? I mean, look at her, she was sneaking out, and she wasn't up to any good, and she must have been messing around with them.
Yeah, he's got a point there, definitely. It's the media, or not the media, the people are covering up the perpetrators all the time.
That sit there and they actually say this.
Whoops.
With a straight face. Dead serious. Or they'll sit there and they'll actually feel sorry for them because of their immigration situation.
Mm-hmm.
As, any excuse to bring their partisan politics into this. But not a word about the victim, 12-year-old girl who's dead. Not a word about her family,
Ish.
whose lives are changed inexorably, probably ruined. This girl who, I'm sure horrible things happened to her. I'm not even going to go there.
No.
And the fact that she had life ahead of her, just 12 years old.
Jesus.
She doesn't have that anymore.
See, that's why I'm,
One of them had 26 years, the other is 21. They're old enough to know right from wrong. And they know exactly what they did. And there are no excuses.
That's right.
For this. I couldn't care less. Whoa, she was doing this. I couldn't care less. A 12-year-old girl is dead.
Yep.
End of story. Case closed.
That's right.
I hope Texas does the right thing.
I hope so too.
Them, one way or another. But they won't.
Yeah, fire up old Sparky.
Of course they won't. The system beyond broken everywhere.
Yeah, she's got that right.
When I see these stories, especially when you have children that are impacted by violent crime,
It's sad.
it sickens me beyond words. It really does.
He's definitely right on that one.
Those are the absolute worst stories that you see. And I detest it. I'll get off my soapbox, but I feel as I do, and I hope you understand at least why. Concluding things now. People along the coast of Texas remain on alert late Thursday after officials warned of elevated water levels and heavy rainfall as deadly tropical storm Alberto.
That was another one. Storm.
By Thursday afternoon, Alberto's remnants had spread over parts of Mexico. The system's maximum sustained winds ranged near 30 miles per hour, with higher gusts, according to the National Hurricane Center. And 5 to 10 inches of heavy rainfall were still expected to impact northeast Mexico. Rainfall totals of around 20 inches are also possible in higher terrain.
Yeah, this is off that ground plane that I made. It does a pretty good job for us shortwave receiving, that is. I got that bogus tuner off on bypass, and I'm just using it for shortwave, and it's working pretty good.
People were reported to have died due to the storm in Mexico. Alberto is kicking off what experts have said will be a busy hurricane season. National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration Director Rick Spinnerd said last month that the Atlantic hurricane season is hyping up to be, as they called it, extraordinary, with a substantial chance of an above
I hope we don't get hurricanes this year. I pray to God, if we do, we're going to get a whopper. I can say that already. I can see that already, but I hope not. Just pray to God that we don't get one. Get a big one.
Through Friday, as high winds pushed water into coastal communities. The storm began drenching southern Texas on Wednesday, triggering widespread coastal flooding that left Surfside Beach, a city along the Texas Gulf Coast, south of Houston, under several feet of water. Life-threatening surf and earth current conditions were among the main threats to the Gulf Coast of Texas through Friday. So just a brief update, noteworthy in that this was the first tropical system of, again, what is expected to be a busy hurricane season. We knew this was coming, and now the conditions are beginning to improve. Across the Atlantic Basin, for the
yeah, in hurricane season, you can always never tell. It always comes up and sneaks on you on that jet stream near the Gulf of Mexico. Builds up all that cool, hot water, moisture and all that. That's how it turns out, right there, or on the other side of the... Oh, man, it's horrible. Comes in different ways as the fronts if the hurricane ever does come around.
But still, with flooding and storm surge, that's the primary risk. And there were 4 deaths reported, unfortunately, down in Mexico, where the harshest due to as the storm was out. So just a reminder, hurricane season now ramping up, and I'd like to mention any significant landfall in tropical systems.
I know, I gotta buy gas for my generator. Freaking, it's gonna cost me a fortune to get gas. Oh.
Radio International.
VORW, that's the
For the remainder of the broadcast, I'd like to balance out this talk and discussion with some listener-requested music. If you tuned into this broadcast right now, please note that I have no analytics for this transmission. It means I have no metrics, no statistics, no way of knowing that there is even anyone out there listening into this broadcast. That's right. I have no way of knowing that there is even one single listener. No view count, nothing. It'd be great to know that this broadcast is even going out to one single listener. If you are tuned into this broadcast right now, maybe let me know that you're out there listening. If you're tuned in on your radio,
you gotcha.
Send in a reception report. Let me know how the signal is coming through on your end. Let me know how the reception is.
There it is.
If you're comfortable doing so, you are by no means obligated, but if you're comfortable doing so, maybe let me know.
Yeah, Mr. Reporter, here's your signal report right here.
Whereabouts in the country.
If you bump into my page, here it is.
Likewise, if there's a song you would like to hear, I am very lenient when it comes down to the music that gets played on this broadcast.
No, I can't play the music because I'll get copyrighted. I don't want to do that.
Any genre, any era. Pick a song, any song, and I, to the best of my ability, will try to get it played for you. Way to send in an email is very simple. All you have to do is write it.
There's his email coming up right now.
VORINFO@gmail.com. Repeating that again, that's VORWINFO@gmail.com. Maybe write in while the next song is playing. Choice is yours. One last time. VORWINFO@gmail.com. First request of the night comes in from Penny in East.
All right, well, that was the information there. That was the reporter, the reporter man or something like that. He's on YouTube here. He's checked my channel for a couple of years. I sent him an email before a signal report or whatever it was to see if he got my email. I don't think he got it. I'm just doing a shout out for him. I pick him up every weekend, and I've told him online that I do listen to this every weekend. He does have some good music on it. I like it. Some old stuff mixed in with a little bit of, some of the, early newer whatever. But I'm not really into that newer music. But he does, some people request some old music in there, some blues sometimes or whatever, But anyways, so that's the shortwave night we've been having. The shortwave campfire night, I guess if you want to call it that. We're just sitting here at the shack, just chilling out, listening to some shortwave, a little bit of scanner in the background, and just pretty much taking it easy for the evening. It's probably a little after 12 right about now, so it's field day today. So it's not field day eve anymore. Oh, jeez. There you go, right here, folks. This is it right here. They better have a lot of this stuff when they do that. If they better have it in tomato sauce, because they're gonna have the shits all day, and they'll probably not be less on the air, so we can maybe have a chance to get on the air and talk and rag shoot to somebody that we really want to talk to. It's gonna be a pork and beans weekend. splatter day. You're gonna hear a lot of toilets flushing. That's all you basically hear. Anyways, guys, 73 for now. This is Adam Sam Radio. Hit the like, subscribe, and hit the bell and all that. And we'll catch you on the next one. Later.